Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Hailey Nelson. Thank you so much for joining me with Safe Kids Central California for our Lunch and Learn series. To give you a little bit of background about myself, in case this is the first time you're meeting me, I am a mom of three. There we go. Mom of three kids. I am a complex care pediatrician. I am Dr. California America. There's the sash. And one of the things for that is that brains are beautiful. So there's the diplomas. So I'm here as a doctor, but also as a mom and someone who is a safety enthusiast to talk to you. And I invited some friends to join me so we could discuss summer safety travel. So I know a lot of us are tired of being at home with COVID and people are wanting to have those summer vacations. So I had some friends come on so we could talk about how to go about that. So if you were taking a plane, a train, an RV, like no matter how you're traveling with your kid, getting to your destination safely is important. So I have Dr. Jeff Timberman. I'll let you introduce yourself. He's actually a dad and a resident here at the hospital. So Jeff, do you want to tell a little bit about what you do here?
Yes, so my name is Dr. Jeff Timberman. I'm one of the third-year residents here at Valley Children's Hospital. I am a dad of two, so I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I have traveled with them before, so looking forward to this discussion because there can be challenging. So yeah, looking forward to this.
Yeah, vacations as a parent, I'm like, sometimes it's a lot of work. And so figuring out some of these logistics of that travel piece is important. And Kristina, we know you, we love you, but go ahead and introduce yourselves to our friends today.
Sure. I'm Kristina Pasma. I am the trauma nurse liaison here at Valley Children's Hospital and the Safe Kids coordinator for Safe Kids Central California. I'm also a mom of 3, and I have to give Dr. Timberman a huge kudos. If you are becoming a resident and having 2 little ones, like that's amazing.
It is hard work to be in training and to have kids, that's for sure. But it gets easier as they get bigger. So good job. You're almost done, Dr. Timberman. So let's start off. Let's talk about airplanes. So if you are leaving on a jet plane and you are traveling with your kids, what are some things that parents need to think about with both the airline travel and then also kind of when they get there? So starting off with airline travel, Jeff, what do you want to tell the families?
Yeah, so I remember when I first traveled with my daughter when she was about 12 months, we were flying to Hawaii. And I just remember thinking, like, what, do I bring a car seat? Can I bring a stroller? Like, do I, can she just go in do I hold her on my lap? Do I need to buy another ticket? So there are all these kind of questions lingering in my head. So after kind of some research, so yeah, you can bring a car seat, for like a 2 years and under, or the bucket infant ones. You can put those in the seats next to you. We recommend that, putting it in the seat next to you and buckling it in. You can bring the stroller through, kind of through security with the car seat, and then they'll check it at the gate for you. And then, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I've traveled with my kiddos as well. Having done solo travel with an infant, that can be interesting. So whether or not you have another adult helper with you, thinking about how you're going to even get to the airplane part of it. So going through security, one of the things I recommend is actually do a dry run, like practice this at home for, okay, I've got the baby in the carrier and here's how my bag's going to go. Like, how do you take off your shoes even? Like I literally had to think about, okay, if I wear these slip-on shoes, I can take off my shoes one-handed while holding a baby and getting the car seat through, because you have to like get it all scanned and then you have to be able to put it all back together while people are lining up behind you. So practicing that so it feels a little smoother, even though it still is awkward trying to get through security. So getting yourself through security, but definitely the stroller piece, that since they'll let you keep your stroller with you up until you get to the airplane, like use that to your advantage to be able to haul all the baby stuff that you need with you. That's my other tip. And then the bags for the strollers. So when they put stuff under the plane, sometimes it gets dirty. And so if you have a bag that you can put your stroller in kind of right before you hand it over to your flight attendant, it'll keep it clean, so that when you get it on the other side, that it's not filthy and then you're setting your kid in it. So those are some things. Kristina, what else do you have to add about airline travel with kids?
Sure. So, you're sharing with us a little bit about being prepared and doing your homework and practicing ahead of time. So the Federal Aviation Administration recommends that you utilize a car seat during airline travel if your child's less than 2 years old. However, they do not require it. And what you're looking for on your car seat is to make sure that it is FAA approved. There should be a sticker on it, or perhaps in the manual. It will share that as well. The other pro tip is that you want to make sure that you reach out to your airline ahead of time and see what their policy is in terms of car seats, and whether or not, you know, you're going to need an extra seat for that, that car seat or not.
Yeah, definitely talking to your airline and figuring out what those rules are. And it can get tricky if you have a layover and then you're switching airlines, like how all of that works. But we want that airplane flight itself to be safe, and the safest place is for your child to be buckled in, so that if something happened, whether it's turbulence, so we're not even talking about plane crashes, just turbulence, if you're trying to hold a child, like they become a lot heavier, and despite how strong you think you are, they can go out of your arms, or they can also get injured. So, you know, they talk about during the safety videos, like the stuff coming out of the overhead bins and things like that. So kind of it's a safe spot to be able to secure your child. And also, if they fall asleep, like they're not sleeping in your arms, like give your arms a break, mom and dad, buckle them in, and then be able to kind of enjoy your flight if you get a spare break while you're
The other
traveling.
thing too is if your child's booster seat age. So if they're that age, you cannot use a booster seat on an airplane because they only have a lap only belt. Booster seats you use with a lap and shoulder belt. So there are actually some travel vests that you can purchase, and we will pop the link in the comments after we're all done, where you can go to get that for those booster seat age kids to make sure that they're riding safely too.
So hopefully kids getting them buckled in, that's really important. Thank you. Okay, so one other thing before we move on out of the airplane is just to add in, if you are traveling with your child, figuring out, we talked a little bit about what goes in your carry-on too. So if your child needs any medication, this also goes for adults. So if you need medication, have it with you, but like for your child, you want to be able to take care of them. And so having medications that they're on, if they're on any special formula, any like food that you need, and then you want to have extra, more than what you think your flight will take in case you have a delay. So having been stuck on a layover, it's not fun. You don't want to run out of snacks or things that your child needs. You also want to change of clothes for yourself as well as your kids in case you get thrown up on or they pee on you. As you can tell, this has happened to me. I don't want it to happen to you. So again, that plan ahead piece goes a long way when you're traveling by plane, because a lot of it then is out of your control once you're kind of in the airport. So that preparation piece, and then having your seat for when you reach your destination, which is a kind of segue to the next thing. So at our destination, Dr. Timberman, do you want to talk about kind of traveling once you get there?
Yeah. So when you land, you know, there's kind of options of, you know, are you going to take a train? Are you going to do a taxi or some kind of ride share, you know, Uber or Lyft, something like that. So the train piece of it is there's no seatbelts on trains. So we can't do car seats. There's no way to buckle in the car seat. However, you know, especially with the little infants, having them in the car seat, kind of in the seat next to you, is still safer than nothing. So in the event of, you know, some kind of accident or rocky motion and, you know, something falls over, then there's some kind of protection kind of built in with the frame of the car seat.
Okay. Kristina, anything else to add if we are traveling by train with our children?
So you just want to make sure that you always have that seat with you. Don't anticipate that it's magically going to be there. A lot of places will allow you to either keep it with you, or even the airlines will allow you to gate check it. However, we mentioned that the safest is actually utilizing the seat next to you. So making sure that you have it. And as Dr. Nelson mentioned, there's some amazing bags that you can put it in that have wheels on it to kind of help yourself out a little bit as you're kind of going through the train station or subway, you know, whatever you're navigating once you get to your destination.
Definitely. Yep. The wheelie bags are nice. There's also ones that then have like the shoulder straps, so you can wear the car seat on your back like a backpack as you're trying to wheel your suitcase and hold onto your child's hand, and like how you are going to get through. So again, figuring out how you're going to carry it and your kid and your stuff can be tricky. But then, I mean, vacations are fun. So hopefully you're traveling somewhere that you are enjoying once you get there. So it's worth kind of that hassle and this preparation piece. So if we don't go by train though, and we're doing rideshare, there's some other things we need to think about. So Kristina, do you want to jump in on that one?
Sure. So depending on where you're traveling to, you want to make sure that you research what their car seat laws are for those states. So here in California, we're actually really progressive. We have some pretty stringent car seat laws to keep our kiddos safe. In other places within the United States or even internationally, the laws may not be the same, or they may not have car seat laws at all. There are some places in the world that don't have that. So being informed of what those are so that you can be well prepared once you get to your destination, as well as having those things available for you. Because full transparency, being a parent, we have gotten to our destination before and had checked our suitcase underneath the plane with our luggage. We made it to our destination. Our luggage did not make it. And so here we were at an airport with no car seat. And that was kind of tricky. So another pro tip is make sure you keep your car seat with you so that when you get there, you've got it.
Yep. Put that car seat on your list of essentials, right? We need clothes for our kids. I need more diapers than what you ever possibly think they could go through, because that is the time that you don't want to test your limits of, oh, but we only go through so many. And then they drink an extra juice box on the plane or something and pee out on you. Like, things happen. Being prepared will make it a little bit better. Again, lots of travel with my kids pre-COVID. I can all sorts of stories to share. So, okay, so the ride share thing and having your car seat. And then there's the other option that a lot of families actually during COVID have engaged in, which is like prime social distancing. So RVs, which that market is hot right now, like you can't find them very fast because people are buying them. Everyone's camping. It's hard to get spots. But it's really a great way to go out and enjoy nature. And then you skip the plane, train, all of that stuff. But traveling in RVs comes with its own kind of risks and things to think about. So Dr. Timberman, what tips do you have for families about kind of summer camping?
Yeah, so when traveling in an RV, children should ride kind of always be seated. So no like getting up and horsing around while the RV is moving. Always wear the seatbelts if they're available. The car seats should be forward or rear facing. Some seats kind of face sideways or swivel around. Those are not recommended for car seats. And then, so kind of just doing forward or backwards for the car seats.
Gotcha. But RVs actually aren't crash tested. Is that correct, Kristina? So there's not really latches Correct. And kind of the normal system that we look for in cars.
Correct. So for parents that are looking to utilize their car seats in the back section of the RV, you're going to find it to be really tricky. That rear section is not crash tested. So the front portion of it, like where the driver sits, that has to meet truck standards, but the rear portion does not. And actually they have done mock crash tests with RVs, and they have found that car seats are not well held back there. They're not reinforced like a regular car is. So if that is the only option, the front seat may be the only option available if you need to utilize a car seat, which we know is not our best choice, but it might be the safest choice in that scenario.
Right. And there's different classes of RVs as well as then kind of the fifth wheel option. So I know some of the like really pro car seat friends out there who want to still be able to camp will actually do a fifth wheel where you're towing your camper behind your vehicle so that you're then, utilizing your car with the latch system and everything. And then when you get to your destination, you've got your fun place to hang out in your bunk beds and everything else. So that always is something to think about too, instead of renting a full RV that you're driving and kind of traveling in is, do you have the option for doing something that's a tow behind? Because that then gives you different safety options as well.
Absolutely. And it also gives you a vehicle when you get to your destination. So if you wanted to quickly run to the store or do something, you're not having to bring your entire RV with you.
When you get there and realize you forgot the marshmallows and we have to have s'mores when we're camping, the essentials.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else for summer travel that you guys want to throw in there for families? We've covered airplanes, we covered trains, RVs. ride shares. So I think we've talked about all modes of transportation at this point.
So the only thing I wanted to mention is that we're going to be putting some amazing resources in the comment section. So some that come directly from FAA that you can look at. Safe Ride News is an awesome resource for car seats. There's a Safe RV Travel. And also the American Academy of Pediatrics, who are our friends for all that we do. Also recommend that children utilize car seats when traveling in airplanes. And they have some amazing resources on their Healthy Children Now website.
I think I would just add, having been on vacation with my kids, it's easy to kind of lower, like, they eat more sugary things and, we're getting more screen time during the travel. So it's kind of easy to lower kind of your standards for those kind of things, but safety should always be kept at the forefront. And we want to kind of abide by the safest recommendations by these various organizations and never want to take our health for granted. So.
Great closing remarks. Thank you both for being here today. I hope that you guys really enjoy your summers and maybe get a vacation. I know we've all been working really hard this past year with COVID, so it is time for us to have a break at some point. For our families out there, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook for the updates, and we'll be back with more episodes. So we're having a lot of fun doing these. We hope you're enjoying them. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always, message us, and we're here to answer whatever you might want to know. But for today, I hope you all stay safe and be well.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.